Good morning, everyone. It's May 7th, 2018. I'm Eric. I'm here at, where the hell am I at? DC Clothesline. Police crime labs routinely produce fake science, fake positives, to convict innocent people. I know. Myself covering these kinds of things is a bad thing, probably, right? It may be hard to believe, but 32,000 people were put behind bars in Massachusetts because of the testimony of two corrupt officials. Now, this is my problem with the justice system as a whole. I explained in my last video part of my problem, which just got finished uploading, by the way. Well, just think of the Megadeth song, Symphony of Destruction. He talks all about how if you take these mortal people and you put them into power, they inevitably abuse that power. And in some ways, this makes AI technology desirable. Because AI technology isn't going to know, unless it's told, of course, whether the person is black or white, male or female. They just test the substance, and if it's cocaine, it's cocaine. If it's not, it's not. The results can't be tampered with by human hands if they were to use a secured AI type system. And this is one of the areas I would support AI in. Obviously, we can't have officials in the labs there fucking faking science to convict people. I mean, that's just fucking plain evil. And of course, I covered this when it first happened. Lab tech Sonia Farak was responsible for testing the drugs that were confiscated from suspects who were arrested. While carrying out this important work, she was also stealing some of the drugs for herself and using them on the spot. And I'm going to flat out admit right now, I'm right here, if I had any kind of control over the drugs that were coming into a lab, I would probably do some of them too. Which is why I don't put myself, or even try, I've never tried to put myself in a position to have access to these things. I know I'm a self-destructive kind of person. So instead of indulging myself, I have to be disciplined and not, right? So, if this was a weakness for her, she should have been responsible and quit her job. If she wanted to do these drugs, she should have not been in the capacity that she was in. She would later testify that she stole from the other chemists' samples, eventually stealing drugs that hadn't been assigned for testing from the safe at the lab and manipulating inventory systems to evade detection. A total of 11,000 convictions were found to be compromised by Farak's work. While she was given 18 months in prison and released in 2015, it wasn't until 3 years later that the convictions she comprised were tossed. So she went to prison, served a year and a half, right? So close to it, year and a half, and she got out of prison before the people she framed. Can you tell me in what fucking universe that is justice? And it means that the people she helped to wrongly convict ended up spending more time in prison than she did. One man who was convicted based on her unreliable testimony, Ronaldo Pinata, or some shit. Some shit I can't pronounce or don't know how to pronounce, has filed a $5.7 million civil case against her. She had been smoking crack in the lab bathroom and taking LSD the day she tested the drugs in his case. Wow. That's one hell of a mixture, man. Crack and LSD. Of course, I would never try crack because I've known people to try that shit one time, just once, and they're hooked instantly. So if anyone ever offers you crack, don't take it, because you're gonna, as soon as you lose that numbing feeling, as soon as you lose it, your body demands more. More. That's why if you talk to somebody that's done cocaine, they'll talk about how you get the mores, okay? She shouldn't have been in the position she was in. And that's one of the reasons why I would support AI being the lab technicians for crime evidence processing. There's no bias there, okay? Unless it's programmed that way, but like Sophie and a couple of other AI bots that were rather racist, but they only repeated what they were taught. So if you think that's just one unfortunate case, you're wrong. A state lab employee's deception led a Massachusetts court to vacate 21,000 drug convictions. Annie Dukin, a crime lab chemist, was caught faking results. Those who know her say she had a compulsion to overachieve that led her to make things up and take shortcuts. She became the most prolific analyst in the lab, impressing supervisors who overlooked concerns raised by her coworkers. Yeah. And by the way, that makes those supervisors just as guilty as she is. So, I just thought I would share this with you. If you think the prisons are filled with just convictions, I would venture to say that probably at least 50% of them, at least, are probably not even legitimate cases. For example, in order for you to be a distributor of marijuana, you have to profit from it. Simply giving a person a joint doesn't mean you're trafficking in marijuana, but that's how you're convicted. And I'm serious, if a cop observes you handing a joint back and forth with a friend, they could technically charge you every time you receive or give that joint. They can charge you for distribution every time they observe you doing this. So, and it's technically not distribution. Giving it to one person does not mean you're a drug dealer. It means you gave it away to somebody. So, again, this is the problem with having people have that kind of control over you, or over us, our society. Wouldn't you rather live in a free society that, oh, this guy's strung out, maybe we need to get him some medical attention, because prison don't help. Prison don't help. I can tell you that right now. It does not rehabilitate you. Now, I'll share something very personal right here. When I was 12 years old, I got sent away for my first time. And I spent the next 6 years, 5.5, in and out of these correctional facilities for adolescents. And a lot of the guys that I was in with, they ended up dead, you know, as soon as they got out. One of them ended up getting shot. Another one ended up overdosing. There's no rehabilitation in the prison system. It's there to punish people. Some things, I agree, need to be punished, like needless murder, like rape, like child molesting, beating your wife, these kinds of things. But if there's no victim, well, there's no crime. Hope you all have a great day. Kill the state, live free.